There's so much shit left to do on this car. What is going on, you guys? So, I've been getting asked quite a lot lately, when's the car gonna be done? What do you got left to do on the car? And I got a lot of shit left to do, so let's do a little walkthrough real quick and go over everything that's left to do on this thing. So, starting in the front of the car, first of all, I need to get the engine built. There is nothing in this engine right now, and you can see there's no crank in it or anything. There's no gaskets. It's just a bare engine in there for mock-up. So I need to get the crank, pistons, cam, basically everything to build it. Well, everything to build it except for pistons. I have pistons up there. I still need to get everything else to build the actual engine. For the turbo kit, I need to get 2 wastegates, build dump tubes, build an exhaust system, run oil feed, get an oil pan so I can run the oil return line. Speaking of oil, I need to run all the oil lines, which to get the oil lines ran, I need to have the oil pan because that has the adapter block for it also. And you can see where the charge pipe runs through the firewall back there and on the intake manifold. I still need to get the air-to-water intercooler mounted up on the firewall back here where the charge pipes are, and get the air-to-water intercooler box, the ice box. I got to get that and mount that up with the water pump for it. Luckily it's all already wired, so as soon as I get that I can basically just plumb it, plug it in. But yeah, I got to get all that stuff and finish the turbo kit. Suspension stuff, I still need to get coilovers. I haven't even gotten front coilovers for the car yet. So right now it's got the stock shocks on there, so I need to get the coilovers so I can build camber plates for it. The sway bar is finally all done though, at least. For the car, I do have the coilovers made in the rear, but I don't have any control arms for it, so I still need to get control arms for the rear. The brakes and everything are actually done though. I also still need to build the bash bar for the rear of the car. That'll tuck up to the bumper. I'm going to be doing a kind of 2-piece, one on each side for the bash bar here. And yeah, I think that'll be about it for that. Maybe I'll build some additional bracing off the rails up there too in the rear. But I also need to get over fenders so I can cut these quarters off and do fiberglass ones. I've got to get a rear window. I plan on doing like louvers on it too, so, but I gotta get rear window stuff situated, and then I was planning on building like a little bit of an air dam here to kind of catch a little bit of air for it. I gotta do NACA ducting, I gotta mount the roof scoop and plumb all that. Obviously I haven't even started on the cage yet, so that's something I need to get going on. I gotta get the handbrake mounted up, which I don't even know if I'm going to use that handbrake. It was a fun little project, but I don't really like the way it turned out, so I'm probably going to have to build a new handbrake for it. And on top of doing all the cage stuff, I did build this bolt-in dash bar up here, but I think I'm going to have to redo all that stuff when I build the cage, because I would prefer all that to be mounted to the cage. Sound deadening and stuff I still need to scrape off of there. Figure all that out. Build a firewall once the cage is done. Fuel system, I still need to get injectors for it because I did not get injectors yet, so that's something I'm gonna have to do. You know, injectors, gaskets, all, you know, shit to do the engine and get that all buttoned up. I do still have to get all that stuff. Also probably gonna have to run a second fuel pump. I don't think the one that I have in there right now is gonna be enough. As you can see, there's no differential in the car because I'm still waiting on diff bushings from Rev Shift, so I'm gonna have to get those put in. I gotta get the transmission in the car. I do have a clutch for it at least, so I have the clutch I can go in, but I gotta get the transmission mounted in, drive shaft, all that. I'm just, you know, like I said before, I'm not really certain what transmission's going in it, so that's why I haven't put a transmission in it yet and built a mount for that or anything. But I have to get the transmission in, build a mount, and then once that's in, I can build the exhaust system, because I need to make sure I have clearance for the exhaust. So that's one of those things, you know, build the trans bracket first or build the exhaust first. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's clusterfucked right now. I don't have my gauges in, but I mean, I have a race pack dash, but I need to get the cage built so I can build the steering column final bracket and the race pack mount bracket on the steering column, because right now if I just bolt the race pack to the dash, the seating position in here, the steering wheel right here is right in the line of sight of the actual dash, so the race pack's gonna have to be mounted like right here, right behind the steering wheel, so I can actually see it. Build that cover, which I'm probably gonna do this weekend, hopefully. I've been saying I was gonna do that for like the last month and a half, 2 months now, and I haven't done it yet, so if I don't do it this weekend, I won't be surprised, but I'm gonna try to. This radiator hose needs a bracket welded onto it for a little bit of a better mount. I need to get all the hose clamps and everything for all the lines. Other than that, the cooling system is just about done. The only thing left on the cooling system after that is I need to run this recovery tank line off the expansion tank to the recovery tank there. I also need to get tires so I can get my wheels that I'm putting on the car mounted up. They're the same size, but they're a little bit smaller on the inside. I did already go ahead and clearance the calipers because the calipers on this thing were huge. And those big ass Brembos with the actual wheels that I'm putting on the car, and they were a little bit tighter on the inside of the barrel than those wheels. But that kind of leans over towards aesthetics of the car, so all situated, I can figure out front flares and rear quarters and all that stuff for body work. Kind of modifications I'm going to be doing to the rear bumper for airflow and heat extraction from the radiator. And then once the cage is all done, I'm going to need to go ahead, paint the interior and all that. I'm going to be doing it that same gray that I did on the front chassis. So I'm actually at the point in the rear where I think if I build the plates for the bash bar, I can actually strip everything down out of the rear, get all the sound deadening material out of there that I'm not going to need in there. And I'm about at the point where I can spray the rear of the car, so probably get around to doing that soon too. The hood, I do want to get a carbon hood for this because that one is pretty heavy. You know, I actually like the styling of the factory hood. If I could just find a carbon one, I'd be pretty happy with that. And obviously, I got to do hood pins, trunk pins, all that stuff to hold all of it together. But I mean, I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of stuff too, but there's a pretty big list. Drive shaft, I got to get a drive shaft made for it. But yeah, there's the list goes on, and there's a lot of stuff left to do on this car. And unfortunately, the more stuff I need to get done, which means the more money I need to spend, and money is something I don't have right now, so I'm trying to work with what I got, and just doing fabrication and stuff like that, and getting the fab work done. So I mean, I know I said before I'm probably not going to be putting that T56 in this car for a while, but, you know, I honestly don't see myself having an extra $6 grand laying around for the transmission I want, so I'm probably just going to end up throwing that T56 in here soon, building a trans bracket just so I can make progress on it. If it breaks, I mean, that'll suck. I'm pretty sure it will, with the amount of power we want to put through this, but you know, it's something I can do to at least hit a milestone and get closer to having the car drive and move under its own power. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one. I just wanted to go through and kind of give you guys an idea of what I have left on this thing, because I know it seems like this is taking forever to build, and trust me, I know exactly. I know that more than anybody at this point. So any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comments section. You know, I love reading your guys' feedback. It's good. There's some really funny comments too that I really enjoy reading. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. So like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel and follow this build along for the next 30 years as I try to finish it. And I will catch you guys later.